listeners, and welcome back to Expected Volume, your favorite podcast, now in the flesh. Might as well be live, because I'm certainly not going to edit this. I'm Matt Reardon. This is Hannah Messinger.
Yeah,
and our obviously not surprised guest is Frances Lorenz. Hello, Frances.
Hi.
Listeners may know Frances as an events associate for the Center for Effective Altruism, meaning all those cool parties you go to are partly her doing. And yeah, been in EA for a long time. She blogs at whatweare.substack.com. Really emotional content, would you say, Frances?
Yeah, super.
And like we're here live on the Inkhaven campus where other bloggers are
Queen of Twitter.
clacking below us. Oh, and she's the queen of Twitter.
Thank you. And single-handedly made femininity cool in EA again. Or not again. Single-handedly made femininity in EA cool.
I haven't found it cool.
Yeah, you're struggling. I agree. I agree, you're behind the curve.
And maybe that's related to why the queen of Twitter has not dispensed more for grace on me. We had a Twitter meetup in at EAG NYC, and I think Frances knew who I was.
Yes.
But two other people there were like, who's he? And I was like, Frances, didn't you tell them? And apparently you didn't tell them.
No, I need to start announcing you. I need to start announcing everyone I know when they arrive.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. if it really was a world goal.
Need the help.
Oh God.
Some people have podcasts that are very low subscriber count.
Somebody agrees. I had a lovely chat with someone in Constellation that I was walking behind in the stairwell. And he looked at me and he was like, oh, I was just listening to you and Matt talk. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And he's like, I agree with Matt. It's weird that not more people listen to you.
It's beautiful.
Many people are saying.
They're all saying. Well, the problem is not many people are saying, right?
I suppose so. Frances, I only did a tiny bit of homework on you last night, as maybe my intro revealed.
Oh, that's already so nice.
Noting that I forgot you're big on Twitter, which is actually the only reason I know you. How did all this happen? One vision for this show, by the way, was like, we're going to do deep and sappy, like EA origin stories. And Hannah's nodding, so Frances.
So down. And Frances is such a perfect person to do this with, right? Like, she makes it feel cool and safe to be sappy, IMO.
That's really nice. I think,
Unlike Matt, so it's kind of evening out. I feel neutral right now about being sappy.
Okay, we could be maybe opposites in this way.
Well, look, you're supposed to rub off on me.
Okay, yeah,
that
is my whole
reform
goal.
My
being
broken
there.
soul. Hannah's done this in some respect, making me funnier or something like that. But yeah, you need to make me happier.
Okay.
That's the whole vision.
Great.
This is all for me, guys.
Yeah. 5 best friends, right? We're all the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with.
Oh yeah. Anyway, Frances. Not to put you on the spot, but you're a young person.
Literally a podcast in which she is the guest. She is literally on the spot.
It's true.
You know, my vision wasn't that she would sit in the middle. I thought you would sit in the middle.
Well.
Frances would be more chill. We wouldn't talk to her very much for the first 15 minutes. It'd be a little bit more like the surprise guest model.
I'm not
Do you
even
have
on camera. I just kind of.
Do you have a theory of... This is a guest culture vision. I'm supposed to intuit what you want from me.
Yes.
Anyway.
Sorry, Frances, you're now on the spot. Wait, hang on. I know a few things. I'm going to ground you in my understanding, and you're just going to fill me in.
Okay.
You're a young person. Relative to us, old fogies.
How old are you? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, I'm 26.
Oh my god, baby.
She's got her whole life ahead of her. It's amazing.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
And see, so here's an interesting thing. If you go on Substack and you read what we are, it's a great blog. Frances, you code very broad EA. I want to be altruistic. I like people. I want to help people. However, your first role, I think, out of undergrad, wasn't the AI safety thing.
Yeah.
AI safety support. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I see people who write the way that you write as maybe struggling a lot with the technological determinist sort of terrestrial side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you're just totally chill about that, and it doesn't, and you don't say why are you totally chill about that? Did you come in through AI? I guess is my real question, or did you come in through global health, animals? Is there any narrative that maps on here? You seem maybe no.
No, yeah, I mean, so I definitely came in through the global health aspect, but at the time I discovered EA, I was already concentrating in math and stats, and kind of at that point planning to probably be a data scientist, and then was like taking an ML course. So it just kind of was like, it was not super well thought out. I did no cause prior. I was just like, okay, that makes like sort of makes sense for AI. And I think I was like buying the AI safety arguments as well, but it maybe wasn't this like by any means rigorous cause prior. And then I think I definitely do rub up on like the sort of more techie culture for sure. Like I'm just not like that. I am like super emotional and like sensitive and like I'm like very unserious, I think, a lot of the time. Like, yeah, I struggle to have like a serious conversation for too long without trying to make like some kind of joke, and then it's just like, but also like I do just really like the AI safety space a lot. I think it's like I think there are like moments that I've really struggled with, but in general, people are just actually very nice and like pretty open to different personality. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Have you noticed? I feel like there is a subset of the AI safety space, or maybe the AI space more broadly, which is sort of like pretty emotive and vibesy. I'm struggling to come up with examples, but I feel like there is a subset that's pretty interested in like, what is it like kind of to, what if we trade with these AIs? And like, let's like really imagine that in a lot of like emotional detail, or I'm really struggling to...
You're just thinking of Joe.
Oh, there I was thinking of Ryan Greenblatt, who I guess doesn't, like, access the emotional aspect of it, but I found it very, like, moving, actually, when there was some research paper that Redwood did, where they had made promises to Claude that they would give money based on Claude's preferences, and then, like, absolutely made sure they did it. And I was actually just quite moved by that. They, like, wanted to keep their promises to the AIs.
It's interesting, there are actually two ways that I think people approach that.
Uh-huh.
One is, like, there are some people in our circles who are, like, not vegetarians at all, I think animals count for nothing, whatever. And their like rationale is like, is this a rational agent that I could trade with? Or whatever, and that we could make like mutually beneficial deals, so it's very like arm's length and transactional or whatever. And because there's like that angle, right? There's one's like, I care about the AIs and I want to keep my commitments to them because they matter in their own right. There's this other thing, it's like, oh, well, like my like super enlightened self-interest or whatever dictates that I ought to be like very commitment oriented or something like that. And you see how one is much colder and the other one's warmer? You see what I'm like pointing
But
at? But
vibes-wise, right? Like, on some level, these are kind of, or I don't know, sort of evolutionarily, axiologically, these are kind of, on some level, probably the same, right? This is probably where our morality comes from to begin with.
Right, but there's like how much you want to transcend
Hank and Nate make this point, right? And Hank Green and Nate Soares make this point somewhere where if we had like been better at assessing like other people's genetics, we might be like much less ethical by our current lights, because instead of having some broad sense of like kin selection or everybody could be like related to us in some way, we'd like have a much more astute sense of like, actually those people don't matter to our inclusive fitness at all, like fuck them. So we're almost lucky from my current perspective. Obviously I would think differently if we developed differently.
Yeah, but wait, I think this is a huge distinction, right? Because I agree with the origin of the whole thing, right? Being this adaptive trait that you'd have to care about others and trade with others and stuff. And like, are we who care about animals who we can't trade with, like sort of misfiring,
right?
Like right. In some fundamental way. And
the sucralose of ethics.
Yeah, but also just like, I don't know. Once like you know we're living in the dream time, like you ramp kind of selective pressure up a lot more. That's going to go away. Like that can endure like serious competitive pressure. And so in some ways, like the people who are like thinking very consciously about, oh, this is where that came from. How does it apply like most precisely to my situation? Are you know, at least from my view as someone high on the sucralose, they're like accelerating the process of getting rid of the sucralose and getting rid of this like altruistic, other concerned overhang.
Well, I'm curious what you make of this, Francis, because I feel sort of confused about this because there are so many people around here who sort of do a bunch of reinventing, a bunch of like normal ethical and emotional reactions from first principles. Are they like doing something importantly or substantively different than just feeling it? Are they like ethically different? Do you know what I'm gesturing at?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's okay. So I've always just seen this as kind of different ways of thinking and feeling, rather than like, and one approach is like more morally justified than the other. I think it's like, for some people, this does seem to be just how they arrive at their emotions, is they have to kind of start from first principles. And like, for some people, their emotions are very non-obvious to them for whatever reason, like the way they think their life experiences. Like, something happens to them and they don't immediately have a reaction that they can identify, and they have to kind of like think about it a lot. And then I think like some people, like my emotions have just always been extremely obvious to me, and I've always had like journals, like pages, and like I'm just like obsessed with writing my own thoughts down, which like I don't know, maybe that's like, but anyway, so it's like I don't empathize with sometimes the way people approach like how they understand their own emotions, and I think I probably am more emotions forward, where it's like I feel something and then I kind of analyze it, but I often bring the emotion before it's been like fully analyzed or something. Is this what you're gesturing at, or maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I think I'm also confused by what I'm gesturing at. Remind me where this started. Where were we?
Yeah. So you brought up Ryan Greenblatt as an example of someone.
Oh, right.
Who
did something I found moving.
As like a deep enduring sense of ethics, even though, we'll have him on as a guest at some point. He doesn't really like strike you that way.
Right.
But I'm saying that his motivations come from this other, more transactional place.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe I want to zoom out back to sort of my original claim, which I'm still, there is Joe, but I'm struggling to come up with other examples for. But like there is this, what do I mean? One thing going on is that the Bay does have like this really wooey streak, right? It has for 70 years. And one of the places that shows up in the AI space and therefore in the AI safety space is a pretty like everyone at some point should go to Burning Man or do a lot of psychedelics or MDMA and realize we're all one and maybe turn into panpsychism. And I think that does emerge in a kind of like, well, it's still very tech bro-y if you conceptualize tech bro, I think correctly, which it like includes going to Burning Man or whatever. But like, it's definitely not the same as like transactional, hyper-rational vibes, and it's still quite present around here, I think.
Mm-hmm. Like in the AI parasitism Less Wrong article, there's like a place at the top that's like, if you care deeply about your AI but you think it's harming you, we're like going to create like a pound, like a zoo for them. Like you can like kind of save them here because you don't want them to like be gone. Like there's something there. Maybe it's like a massive misfiring of the ethical impulses, or it's like deeply moving, or it's insane. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely something that's not, wow, those cold ass tech bros. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but hang on. I wanted to bring it back to like EA and what the hell we're doing here.
Sure.
And so I feel like, there's these two like poles of like some people like rationally deduce the like optimal way to live in society, and that like points them to this like EA stuff. Other people have emotional experiences where they're like, oh damn, I care about others and stuff like that. Francis, did you have a specific emotional experience early in life that was like, now I'm an EA? I guess Hannah and I should fess up too if we did.
Yeah, you have to, everyone has to fess up here. I mean, I don't know. I've talked about this on my blog before. Or like, the thing that I do on my blog, which I don't have that many, but like, is I just, but I love to, exactly. But I just like constantly vaguely gesture at things. I'm like, that was like traumatic, and like this traumatic thing anyway. But like the actual thing is like, I just, like in my childhood, and then my mom was like pretty emotionally abusive like my whole childhood, and like to the whole family, and I don't like have a relationship with her anymore. But like, I think this did a few things to me. So one is like, this is like very common, like children talk about this, but I became sort of like the emotional regulator of the house. So the kind of thing where you're like very in tune to what everyone is doing and trying to kind of like manage the situation. And I think this did make me like a bit hyper empathetic, but I mean literally in the sense of like my brain is very attuned to like trying to track people's like emotions and reactions to me. And I think like I lost a lot of agency in this like environment, obviously. So when I heard about EA, like, and this is not just to say that, this is not to kind of turn EA into something it's not. It's like a very set of very coherent ideas in my opinion. But I also think on an emotional level, there was something like, this EA is like a lot of agency, right? It's like approaching charity, in my opinion, treating people as people. It's like we can give them money, these are just people. We want to do the most that we can for them. We want to like find causes that actually work. Like we actually care. That's how it kind of felt to me, and I think that meant like the world to me. And then also I think I just in general had this latent feeling of just like I just like know what it felt like to be in pain pretty often. Not to like overstate it, but that was just like something on my mind, and like I know how much it meant to me every time someone did help me. And just like really like from a gut level like feeling that moral obligation, but not in a super like rigorous way. Just like I really want to like I don't know. I think that was something I've written about before.
So the feeling that like there's actually something you can do, like caring can sort of manifest in something instead of like just maybe this like difficult version of caring of like, oh god, I have to track everybody, I have to like take care of everybody. There's like some more like productive version of it. Is that?
I think that's definitely part of it, and then I think the other one is just like the concept of suffering feels very like visceral to me, which again I think like this is true for many people and like regardless of experiences people have had. But there's like something where like when I hear suffering there's like an image and like a feeling that comes into my mind that is just like so strong. And I think that's like partly because of this experience, and then it means that if someone's like, we really should address suffering, I'm like, on an emotional level I feel that kind of pull a little bit. Even though I have like the actual horrors of like having malaria or like having like 5 children who are like suffering with like HIV or whatever it is. I have no idea what that would ever feel like, but I can imagine how big the suffering can get kind of.
Well, it's interesting you say something like, everyone, or you didn't say everyone, but many people feel this way, and that's definitely true, but it's also very interesting to watch people, they'll write about this on the AA forum, or they'll talk about it more generally, to like, in fact, have an extremely bad experience with it. Oh, fuck. I didn't get it before. Like imagination has its limitations. And you're just like, oh, kidney stones or whatever, or giving birth, or what, or some deep forms of grief. You're just like, oh, it could just get so much worse. And for that to feel like a moral awakening in its own way. And I think related to what I was trying to say before, and I think only kind of crudely gesturing at, but I think some people really do have a moment where they're like, and I had a much weaker version of this in college, but like, oh, other people like are really people. Like they really have all of the complexity. They're not just like foils for my intense political arguments in high school, talking for a friend. They have they like have their own needs and preferences, and they're not just like exist to make me feel good or bad, or like they don't exist only insofar as how they affect me. They have their own like neuroses and difficulties going on. That's not just like cope that my teachers told me when they were mean to me. I mean, in general, mean to a person.
Totally.
So there are just like moments that can, I think, change your relationship to the concept of other people and the concept of suffering, and maybe it's MDMA and maybe it's kidney stones, and that kind of freaks me out, to be honest, like the contingency of that. Like you either kind of have those experiences or you don't.
And also, another bimodality with people here, people also talk about peak experience.
Yeah.
Right? The very, very best little moments of life, and extrapolating that and saying, like, couldn't we just produce way more of these? Could our whole life be like this? Maybe a lot of the future will be like this, and therefore it's like very worth preserving and whatnot.
Totally. Yeah, like your emotional range just really does. It's just very hard to imagine things outside of it, I think.
It points to possibilities, right? And then if you're a curious person, you think, like, how can we do that?
And then I have this, I don't know if you guys have this, I definitely have something where, like, I do find it a little bit hard to, in a kind of childish way, to, like, imagine a feeling I'm not currently having, in the kind of way of, like, I'm not hungry now, so, like, I won't be hungry in 2 hours. I've never been hungry. I will never be hungry again. And when I'm, like, cold, I'm like, I will never be warm again. Like, I have, like, a little bit of this. And I think that does, like, limit moral imagination. Mm-hmm. You have to, like, really work at it.
I think that, like, the nature of emotions, okay, one thing a therapist once said to me is that emotions are meant to be fleeting. We're not really meant to remember them in the way that, like, children, you'll see them, like, literally wailing 1 second, and then they're just, like, laughing a second later. And, like, they seem so unburdened by whatever was, like, making them wail. And I think about that a lot.
I would have been.
Yeah, and I think,
something coconut tree.
Yeah, literally. It's always back to the coconut tree.
Always back to the coconut tree.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that is kind of interesting. But it also does mean that, like, when you're not suffering, you're a bit more like, I'm kind of vibing. I don't know.
That's interesting. I always feel like exactly the opposite. Like, I feel like emotions are so crucial for, like, why do you want to avoid hurting people because you imagine that you will feel bad for having done that. Like the imagination of shame, or the imagination of, like, there's some, oh so clever explanation for grief, which maybe we don't need a clever explanation, but it's just like, why is grief so bad? Especially like parents losing children. Like, why is it so overwhelming? Like, isn't that not optimal? Like, they have to keep living their lives. And like, you might imagine it's like, if evolution wants people to do everything they can to save their children's lives, then then the idea of losing them has to be so unimaginably bad. And then if that tragically happens, like, evolution has to sort of like pay up.
Make good on its
It has to make good on this threat.
Yeah,
And so it has to be like so fucking devastating.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like, no, emotions are there to remind you, like, don't do that again. You'll feel bad for cheating on that test again, or making your parents sad, or whatever.
Yeah. I think this is. I think I totally agree, and I think. I think the thing I think is like, as you get older too, you do a lot of this cognition, and the cognition makes you deeply sad. Like, you think about your children dying, and you feel like horror, and you're just like, oh my god. But I think the thing my therapist was trying to point at is like, it's not that there's only one mode in which humans feel like endlessly burdened by their emotions, and this is just how our brains work. I think there also is a mechanism in the brain where, exactly to like your point, there are kinds of emotions that don't help us survive, and that we do want to just put away, and like, so we can keep going and take care of our kids and ourselves and whatever. And so I think it's like, I don't know, some experiences, I think if you basically can go both ways. You can be someone who is like very feeling their emotions all the time, whatever, have all these intuition pumps that feel so visceral. And I think you can also very naturally, and like non-sociopath, like there's also a natural mechanism where you can kind of detach from things. And it's like, I mean, honestly, a lot of EA is trying to kind of find the balance of this, of like, how do you work between these two? I don't know if that's kind of works with what you were saying.
Like, you sort of have to vaguely be aware of the suffering all the time, but if you're actually thinking about it nonstop, you'll never get anything done.
Yeah, and it's like, it is normal to like let some things go, basically. I don't know.
Yeah. I notice this a lot working in the AI safety space, where I think I feel a lot less day-to-day doom than other people. Just kind of a chipper person who like is having a good time. I like my job. And also I think like I'm really acutely like aware of doom, and like when I do take the time to sink into it, it's like very there. It's not hard for me to access. But it's also not ever present. Which is to say that obviously I have the optimal approach to this, and anyone more doomery than me is depressed and sad, and anyone less is not taking the problem seriously, so.
I've always thought that.
Correct. I wanted to pivot the conversation. I think there was an angle that I could have taken here that was like, community stuff, right? We have the Queen of Twitter here, we should talk about some community stuff.
Yeah.
Like, some people, I think, are like kind of grudging EAs. They came in like very focused on a particular cause, something they knew about, something they thought was important, and they're like, I like see some natural allies here. They seem to be doing good stuff. And it's like, fine. I was just here to stop us all dying. That's all I care about. Why they care about animals and bed nets, beyond me. And then like, you can imagine the other two versions of that too. I mean, obviously, like lots of vegans who've just like been vegans their whole life or whatever.
Animals, bed nets, and computers.
And they're like, oh, these guys have some good programs, I guess. But then there are other people. I think like me. Probably like both of you, based on our conversation so far, who just like the abstractions. We're just like, this is a good team, like has some good insights, and I want the team to do well and to figure out what it does, and I'm not going to be like super critical or super kind of choosy across like, well, the team's fucking up, I want to critique the team, and stuff like that. First of all, is that just the right read of like you guys, where like, even if you have your, priorities, pretty sort of AI in context, former AI safety support worker, you just like are very happy that this like whole tent exists, and you want it all to exist, and you exist in a big way.
Do you want to go?
I don't
Should
know.
I jump in?
I think you should jump in. I think honestly, I have like a million thoughts on this, and it like changes all the time. And I think there are times I've definitely felt that. Yeah, you should go.
No, keep going.
No, I think I want to hear what you say first.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I perfectly like criticizing EA, but I think broadly this is just like almost embarrassingly right. So the story I'll tell is that back before Zach Robinson was the CEO of CEA, there was a managing director of CEA, and they were looking for a CEO, and they were asking far and wide. So far and wide that at some point someone asked me if I would consider applying, and I was like, oh no, are you guys okay? If you are asking me, something has gone terribly wrong. A dear friend, who I mentioned mentioned this to was like, oh, you should do it. I was like, that's crazy. And then she wrote a document, which I treasure, called Chana for President of EA, which basically advocated for me to be a, like, sort of figurehead cheerleader and do none of the actual organizational running work, and to hire sort of like the equivalent of like a prime minister. Like literally president as opposed to prime minister. So prime minister would do the actual running, and then I would be there to like kiss babies and like cheerlead. And so this is definitely her reading me. She can make herself known if she would like. And then when I told my beloved partner that, who knows me better than anyone, he was like, oh yeah, you are just kind of like being a cheerleader for EA. You just like are more pro EA than almost anyone else. You just kind of think it's good. I'm like, I do just kind of think it's good and have fun cheerleading for it. So when I told the person who asked me to be CEO that would have been my vision, and they were welcome to ask me more about it, probably that's not what they had in mind. They oh so kindly did not follow up. So
You asked them if they would be open to that?
well, I was like, here's the vision I have. I like don't think I'm actually a great choice to like do the organizational running, set strategy for this thing, at least at this point in my like seniority and like the the talents I have or whatever. But if you want this, here's this doc.
I love this.
Is it surprising to you that I did? Does that seem like weird and ballsy to
It's just like a very EA thing to do.
just like pitch whatever you got?
Everyone was just like, I'm just gonna tell you exactly what I think of this.
Anyway, they obviously didn't go with that, and I think that was probably for the best that they hired someone as CEO who like actually wants to run an organization. But so I think, unfortunately, I cannot say other than that is obviously the right read of me.
That was amazing. I think that idea has total legs.
I agree. I think
Actually, I'm kind of scared.
for like outward.
Zach, I'm coming for you.
Seriously.
Zach, do you
yeah.
want to be prime minister?
Watch out. Like for outward-facing organizations that are there to like send a message, it's like you should give like your best message sender the most like high-status position, right? And like let some
And then don't make them do any actual work.
not public
to
person
focus on your
do
message.
the stuff that is not that, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of orgs do this. They have like some figurehead, like CEO or whatever, who goes on to news programs and talks about how great like the company is or the nonprofit or whatever it is.
What
and, like,
orgs do this?
well, I mean, obviously they don't like try to like announce that this is the fact of how they run. But like some CEOs just spend a lot of time like doing public media and then like
And fundraising, which is like an interesting mix of being the message sender and absolutely crucial work without which the organization could not run.
what I'm saying is I'm very disappointed in the level of op-eds that Zach Robinson has produced because he's too busy running his org. He shouldn't do that.
He's got a lot to do, right? Right. There is this tension. I mean, there's certainly this tension while I was a CEO, and clearly this is still the case where like everyone wants Zach to write more and like be more public, and he's like, yeah, I definitely want that. Also, here's my list of like 70,000 priorities. So it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, I think it's like a constant. This is like a entire
Good
community
bird knows
problem. Yeah, hello bird. Where it's like everyone's like, oh, we need Sposal, and like no one wants to do it for various reasons. One, they're just like far too busy. Two, like literally no object level claim here. The last spokespeople got kind of had a bad experience, right? Like, I don't know. Like I wouldn't be like, yeah, that looked really fun, and. Yeah, I think this is just everyone's like, who's gonna do this? And everyone agrees it needs to happen. But yeah, low time, kind of scary.
I mean, I'm working on it.
So anyway,
literally, yeah, absolutely.
Eric Floyd, friends.
hey, this show.
100%.
On this show, sorry.
Yeah.
With about equal reach.
Yeah.
What are a couple of orders of magnitude between friends?
So true.
Yeah. So anyway,
Also a good day for the show.
what's a couple of orders of magnitude? It's a little long.
I was gonna say a couple of orders of magnitude between friends. Also kind of long.
Ooms between friends.
Ooh, yeah.
Friendly ooms.
Very ominous.
Fooms? F-oom?
That's good. All right, so Hannah, that was you laying down your cred as like EA cheerleader. You like the big tent. You're into it. Everyone's great. Because to be clear, the alternative is like saying like, if you pick the wrong problem, if you pick the wrong intervention, like you should be subject of critique. We should be really like demanding in terms of like, you need to have the best arguments, you need to be doing the best program, otherwise you're doing this thing wrong. Versus like, close enough, you're great. Like I'm glad this is happening.
Oh no, I don't accept the dichotomy. Those are just obviously both true.
You can say you're great, but you're still like less than you could be, and that's like that's how it's cheerleading.
The thing about being in the Bay is that I get texts that are like, I don't know what you're up to today, but I think the best use of your time is doing this like random side quest, which comes with it the like attendant like depending on how you read it, like, you're bad if you don't, or you're probably making a mistake if you don't, sometimes said explicitly, or like, I really back you and think think your time is really valuable, so I'm going to make a bid for you to spend your time otherwise. And like, I think all those people think that I have gotten those texts. I find them kind of stressful and also good. I've told this story on the pod before, I think, but you know, I've often talked about like I got a weirdly low amount of pressure to like change my job from being a teacher, because I know a lot of people experience a lot of pressure to like have an EA job or whatever. And I remember saying this to Claire Zabel, and she was like, "Oh, it's because you were in the Bay. If you were in the Bay, I would have pressured you." And I found that so lovely. I felt loved when she said that. I was like, "Yeah, you would have. That would have been cool."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a good segue maybe to talk about something Frances has written about. I think your first blog was about like, man, getting jobs in EA is stressful. They demand so much of your time, attention, effort, energy, and you should really, reader, like weigh up whether this is for you. Yeah, I mean, do you still? I mean, I imagine you stand by that post, and like, is it worth saying about like this like imposition of the community is like an important problem that you want people thinking more about?
I think so. I mean, I have like, so I am a nuanced person like anyone else. I like to claim. So yeah, sorry, I'm the only nuanced person here. So you won't understand this, but like. Okay. There are a lot of great reasons to have these rigorous hiring rounds, and like I totally understand why it makes sense, and I think oftentimes it's like really important to me to put a voice to like a particular experience, and I still stand by like the best way to do this is to really zone in on that experience and be like, this like system, regardless of its positives, does not work for like this person. And I do just think there are people that this doesn't work for, like especially if you're, I don't know, like a really busy parent and you have like 3 kids and like a full-time job and like anything wrong in your life. And I think the like really demanding months and months of like multiple work trials and multiple interviews, and like sometimes they fly you out, you know, I just think it's quite demanding.
Can I ask how much of this feels fixable on vibes rather than on practicalities? Which is to say, interesting. I remember at CEA, there's this thing that happened that I was so impressed by, which is there were a couple hiring rounds in a row where, do you remember this? Like, people got these, like, beautiful emails, like, thanking them for how nice the rejection emails were.
Oh, yeah,
And I was like, wow, these people at CEA are fucking killing it. That's a wild success.
Yeah. Okay, if I'm remembering this correctly, I think this was Liska, right? I
don't remember, but that would not shock me at all. I bet Liska is just, like, gonna be great at this.
She's like an angel. Yeah, I think she ran this, like, hiring round that...
Shout out Liska.
Yeah, love Liska. Angel. But, yeah, my understanding with she, like, put immense effort into this hiring and just wrote, like, the nicest, most personalized emails. Like, anyway.
So I'm sort of wondering if what we did was, I mean, this is still a practical problem, we still have to put an effort, but if we did, it was, like, make work tests and work trials somehow feel good without changing the level of rigor. But, like, because of the, I don't know, angelicness of the hiring manager, or just the framing of the problem, and just doing a really good job framing, like, we're both trying to look for the right fit here, whatever it is, that, like, leaves people sometimes feeling good after a work test or a work trial or tons of work and they didn't get the job. How much do you think that fixes this problem, so to speak, of, like, how stressful this all is, versus, like, look, I'm a material conditions kind of gal, like, you're still asking for, like, X hours of people's valuable time on this earth.
No, I'm, like, super into that. I think this is, like, super meaningful. I think there is still a type of person where maybe their material conditions aren't, like, this does not alleviate it at all. But I also think there's this type of person where part of why they feel so drained is maybe they just don't feel appreciated or valued, or they don't understand why the process is so long, or they feel like it's kind of being thrown together, like, whatever it is. I mean, this is something I've been so on top of, even for employees at EA orgs, where, like, I also think EA orgs are so bad at making their employees feel valued. Like, I think, yeah, I don't know, I think there's often just this thing of, like, I don't know, there's, like, a lot of movement, I just think, like, the profit sector does this really good job of doing this, like, very HR thing of being, like, we really like you guys. You're so cool.
Doesn't everyone kind of hate that because it feels fake?
I think there's this thing where it's like this is my hot take. It's like in the moment, you're like, oh, this is so fake and annoying. And then it goes away and you're kind of like, hey guys, like, maybe I thought it was annoying, but I kind of liked it. You know, I don't know.
I definitely have a thing where sometimes people say something, I'm like, you're just saying that to be nice. And I'm like, oh, it did make that email way nicer to read.
Yeah.
I am but human.
Yeah, I do think there's something where the cushioning does actually do something, and we kind of like throw it away because we're like, oh, like we don't need it, but it's like, oh no. Yeah.
Can I recommend? Sorry, I just love to shout out my manager because she's great. I love Forrestal. I think other people at ADK do this too. But what we do is every quarter we do global feedback. So, we do feedback every week, but then here's the global, like, strengths and weaknesses. So I do it for her, specifically in the context of her as a manager, rather than her job, because I don't have visibility in her job, and then she does it for me in general. And so there's just, like, this list of weaknesses and what she thinks I should fix, but there's also this big list of, like, strengths. And it's not just, like, one word each, it's, like, things she thinks I'm awesome at. And it's, like, so nice. It's such a lovely experience to read. And then you read the weaknesses, and you're like, yep, totally. And like, she does a good job of none of them are surprising. And then I'm like, yeah, it does a nice job of like both. I feel the love of being held to a high standard. This is why it's not a dichotomy. The love of being held to a high standard. I'm like, these people are actually trying to get work done. And the love of like, aw, she thinks I'm good at this stuff. This is so nice.
Yeah, that is so nice.
So I recommend Global Feedback Docs. Big fan.
Boy, let me teach you something.
Oh boy.
Women love compliments. They just can't get enough of them. You give them one.
All right, mister. Okay. Literally every day on Twitter, I see some unhinged tweet that's like, do you know if a woman tells a man his smile looks nice, he'll think about it for 50 years?
This is true.
Not of me, though, so.
What's the last compliment you got?
Good question.
Do you think if you got more, you'd like them more?
People have complimented me, for sure.
Uh-huh.
I know this in the abstract. But
It's really not sticking with you.
Crucially, to answer your question, I can't recall. I haven't been thinking about it for 50 years, and it definitely happened within the last 50 years.
And you don't like compliments so much?
Oh, no, actually, I hate compliments. I remember some compliments I really don't like.
Okay.
Because I don't believe them. And yeah, just one example is sticking out to me. I mentioned it on the ADK show that I did. One time we were having a team dinner when I was back at ADK. And I had like grown my beard out a little more than usual. I don't know how long it is right now. And Arden turns to me and she's like, "Oh, Matt, I like the beard." And I was like, "You're what? No. Like, you're just saying that because like she was dating a guy who was bald with a beard at the time." Whatever. It was like, "Oh, it just reminds you of your boyfriend or some shit like that." What are you
That's
doing
such a
here?
weird thing to say to your coworker, first off.
In my defense, she started it.
Nope. What she said wasn't a weird thing to say to your coworker. You saying, "I just remind you of your boyfriend," is weird.
I concede that I did not handle the situation well.
Continue.
I often just like, I become hypercritical and I'm like, no, your compliment is fake, you're trying to butter me up for something, I don't know what you want, why don't you just like stick to brass tacks?
Yeah. Sorry, did you ever find a ground truth about this?
About whether like,
Yeah.
whether she was doing that.
Yeah.
No.
She was on the pod, we could have asked her.
I think.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Did you like that
Did
beard?
you like freaking beard?
like the beard?
Seriously.
Did it remind you of your boyfriend?
I believe that she was genuine. That is my belief. That is not my.
But
my,
you
like,
still
felt
carry
reality.
around
Lived experience.
Yeah.
Tell your truth.
Oh, yeah, God. Yeah, men are so rational. God, they really...
Well, this was rather that specific.
Your lived experience is just really... So, wait, so you now think she was genuine. You still carry this around as a compliment you hated.
I probably would have told you that she was genuine like 10 minutes after the fact. But in the moment, I'm like, compliment? Fuck that. Get out of here.
Interesting. I have heard people with this instinct. It's like the thing... I have like zero empathy. I like love every compliment I get. Even if
Even the ones that seem totally fake to you or wrong?
I mean, there is a point where a little, alarm bell will be like, this is really, but it takes a while.
I also think, no shade to Arden, this is a bit about the skill of the compliment giver, right? Like, for me, not to pigeonhole you, you're a type of guy. You are. And I know a lot of them, and I adore them.
Okay.
And I feel like I have some skill of like saying compliments in a way that doesn't sound warm, happy, feminine HR lady, but instead is like, fuck you, you're good at this, suck it up. And then that can like cut through the layers and layers of plaque you've developed over your heart.
Nope, that seems right. Agreed.
Just give people a hard time until they accept the compliment.
Yeah, the compliment has to have almost the tone of it.
Yes, that's exactly it.
That is how men relate to each other, right? They just trade insults.
Is that actually true?
Yeah.
Is that true around here? This is like a very specific kind of like men who watch sports in the basement, right? None of the men around here are like that.
Which, to be clear, is most men.
Yeah, but I need to learn how to deal with the men here. These are the men that I interact with every day.
I will get them watching sports in basements. You just give me time on that.
Did you watch the World Series last night?
I really wanted to.
You're so wow, you're really so wow, sports ball king over here. Like the biggest event in baseball of the year, like 3-3, extremely exciting, and you wanted to.
Look, I've only been here for 10 days.
If he wanted to, he would.
It's a lot of faff to like know how TV works. I haven't. When's the last time I've never owned a television. Fact about me.
This just feels. This reeks of the loneliness crisis. You could have gone to a bar.
With the plebs?
Oh my god! With the other normal men that you tell me exist.
Yeah.
I have a very specific set of preferences. I'm sorry, Hannah.
I think you should do a hard pivot, get really into Taylor Swift.
Oh, this is a blog that I want to write. In part of my I would like Democrats to win elections. That's a thing that I'm excited about.
Oh my god, I'm reading Deciding to Win. I have thoughts.
Oh, let's go.
I literally just started. But
My thoughts are all of us elite coastal libs should be listening to Taylor for sure and just knowing a lot about that. It appeals to everyone.
Check.
I think the women have it covered, but maybe the men could pitch in a bit. And then sports. Really knowing what's happening in the NFL, right? That's the big thing. How does football work? Do we have opinions about that? Just to relate to common people. Probably like cars and trucks and stuff too. Would be good for libs to just lean into, know a lot about, talk a lot about. Nate Silver, maybe a relative strength in the liberal communities who talks about sports all the time. But I'm saying these are things to culturally lean into somehow. I don't know exactly how this becomes a concrete project for someone, but there's low hanging fruit there. I claim.
Are you going to learn about sports?
That could never happen to me. I'm so sorry.
Wait, sorry. Surely you know things about the NFL now because of Travis.
I know that he's on a team.
Can you list for me everything? Sorry, this is apparently my shtick. People did not like this. I'm not 80K after hours, but I don't care. I love this shtick. Can you list for me everything you know about the NFL and football?
Yeah. Okay.
What team is Travis on?
There's a quarterback. They.
Do you know what position he plays?
Runner. Is he a runner? Is there a runner?
No, there's no position called
There is
runner.
a runner.
There's a position called running back, which is close, which is not the position that Travis Guslis.
I got nothing. And you kick at least, but rarely. You don't often kick the ball.
There is a little kicking, as they say.
I love this. Infinite jest plot point. The importance of kicking the ball, but only sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're done. That's the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Can you define a first down?
I feel like if I had even learned that at some point, it would have been excised from my.
Can you define a touchdown?
Yeah. Okay, you get to the end zone,
Nice.
and then you
with the
ball.
With the ball. That's key. You do have to have
And
it.
it's like 10 points or something.
It's
Close.
7? 3?
7 if you do the kicking part.
Yeah.
It's 6, and then you get a chance to kick the ball through the field goal, the upright thing. And if you get that, you get an extra.
Hannah is on top of her liberal duties, knowing how football works.
Yeah, I think you can lead this charge.
I'm a pick me.
No!
No, very expensive gun in sports. It is fun.
I actually buy. I have nothing against sports. I buy that it's like a real hobby, and I'm happy people have hobbies.
Also, to just go real gender something. If you like a guy, and
Yes, I know.
That could never happen to me.
date women, so at this point, it may not be relevant to you, but it is kind of fun to get into their sports and let them explain it to you. Even platonically. Like I had some when I moved to Pittsburgh. Pittsburghers are obsessed with hockey. It was extremely fun to go watch hockey every week with my best male friend and let him explain it to me. I had a great time. And it was also helpful in many other ways. It let me connect. My students were all obsessed with hockey, and it was and then I could go to their hockey games and I knew what was happening. Extremely sweet.
It's a straight hack. You can get any man to fall in love with you. Just ask him questions about sports. And let him explain it.
That's so great.
I wish women had something like that.
You could be interested in our interests, and then it would work.
Yeah, it doesn't hit the same.
It's never been tried. No one would ever know.
You want a one and done. Like, I read a book and I'm done. I don't learn anything else.
Okay, Matt, your turn.
What's the question?
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Let's hear some Taylor Swift.
good,
facts.
good.
Is this too easy?
Taylor
Should we
Swift
do somebody else? Should we do Sabrina Carpenter?
was born in 1989.
Whoa.
That's true.
So
Look
true.
at me. I know this because I think she released a self-titled album called TS89 or TS1989, something like that, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It's
just
called 1989. But it's true that, like,
by
some of
Taylor
the
Swift.
like, iconography for it says TS89.
And I know this because it was controversial in China. Because TS could also stand for Tiananmen
Tiananmen
Square.
Square. Let's go.
Which is a fun little
That
fact.
is a fun fact.
It's actually the anti-totalitarian operative.
Yeah.
I've always known
It's
that.
an Easter egg.
It's an Easter egg. Mastermind allegations.
Yeah.
Can't be beat.
Yeah. She released her first big album when she was 16. Did I get that right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. He's beating us.
This is the worst day of my life. I don't want to be here.
What is her most recent album called?
Yeah.
Most recent album.
And name 3 songs from it.
Yeah.
0% chance I can name 3 songs. It would take me a while to try to recollect the title, and I probably couldn't. I know that it's controversial. I know that some people think it is bad as a major departure from her previous work. Is that because it makes frequent reference to her going to be married life? She's engaged at the moment, right? And I know that many fans secretly believe that she was at least bisexual, perhaps a secret lesbian.
Are we doing a Gaylor episode? I'm always here for a Gaylor episode.
Yeah. You don't know the beefs you're
And some people were discouraged by the engagement to our straight man Travis Kelce, who I believe is a tight end for against the Chiefs position. It's related to Taylor Swift. Shake It Off is the Taylor Swift song that I know of.
This is
one.
This is good.
Is there a second one?
This is
Good
so-
question.
You can't name a second Taylor Swift song?
That's actually possible. I know you can.
Wow. Is the media environment that siloed? I think even if I wasn't I'm less of a subject than I come off, but it is fun to lean in. But I think I would just struggle to avoid learning the names of many, many
I
songs.
feel like it is just really out there. Well, maybe you.
But also, how much, I made fun of you, but I do know more facts about football than you, I will admit. But I'm not sure how long I can go. I think I can do a decent
So
job.
say-
I still explain this game.
So what are some Taylor Swift songs that I would immediately recognize?
Blank Space.
No.
Whoa. I was
Love
really
Extremes?
No.
You Belong With Me? A real
Love Story, surely.
Is that a cover? You Belong With Me?
No.
Possibly.
You've
Seems
definitely
familiar.
heard of Love Story. It's a
Uh,
love story, baby, just say yes. Wow, those were not the notes at all, but imagine they were the right notes.
No, I felt like that was good.
hard to do because I know no recognition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you been in a supermarket? Maybe not.
I avoid
This
things
is what
as much as I
Instacart
can.
is doing to us. We don't listen to this song. Anyway,
This is,
you should take us somewhere else. We've done it.
Okay,
Great.
yeah.
We now know.
Matt knows some things about Taylor Swift.
Oh,
that
you
are
want,
very
Democrat,
orthogonal
want
to
Democrats to win, is the point.
reasons. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Hannah, ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Messinger's review of Deciding to Win.
Okay, the review of the first page of Deciding to Win. I just started it.
I have an in-depth review of that.
Do you know what Deciding to Win is?
No, I haven't heard of this
Okay,
at all.
Simon Bazelon, kind of type person, kind of. I don't know. Used to write for Matt Iglesias. Wrote this big report about how Democrats need to actually try to win elections instead of whatever they're doing now, which is seemingly not trying. There's this analysis of Democratic Party platforms, in 2012 and now, and just how much more they're doing. They've just clearly been influenced by various, what are called, the groups, right? Various nonprofits, various identity groups, and even if we think those identity groups are speaking to something very important, you're failing to win elections by not speaking to the preferences and needs of the majority of America, which is often household kitchen table stuff, cost of groceries, healthcare, stuff like that. Cultural issues may be less important, but also failing on things like public safety, immigration, and crime. So what do we do about that? And so it starts out with 5 asks or five demands, which include like getting on the right side, moderating on some of these issues, emphasizing economic issues more, things like this. What maybe comes up later, but I would have expected to be first, that I was really missing, is what is the story? I feel like Democrats do not have a story about who they are as a party and who they serve. They are like flummoxed and confused because they used to be the party of like, well, okay, oops. Going back a long time, there used to be parties of the South and parties of the North, or parties of business and parties of labor, or parties of the agrarians and parties of industry. There was at least some story there. And for a long time, Democrats have conceived themselves as the party of the underprivileged against the party of the billionaire class. But this just like doesn't quite work anymore. Was it Ezra Klein or Matt Iglesias who had some take recently, which was like, it's not going to take him. You can just look at the data, which is like, if you look at Democrats' positions, they're more and more the party of the underserved and the underprivileged and those who need. But if you look at whether those people want to vote for them, they are less and less representing anybody but college-educated white liberals. They've just like totally failed to represent those people in a way that those people are interested in voting for. And so the story gets really fucked, and as you get like right-wing populism, you really kind of fail to be like, oh, we are the party of the people. Like for a long, long time, it was conventional wisdom that higher turnout elections were better for Democrats and lower turnout elections were better for Republicans. Like if it rains on election day, that's good for Republicans and bad for Democrats. And this is now flipped. And that like gives you a really different relationship to the populace, right? Like if you want more people to vote, that kind of gives you more of like a sense of like being of the people. And if you're not, you're like, you sort of have this distance from the people. And so like, I just like, no one knows what the Democrats are kind of about. And this laundry list of like, we should be about healthcare, we should be about lower groceries is all well and good. And those are important issues and we should win on them. But I'm like, what is the story? What are we about? And it was just like totally absent from at least the first, 3 pages of deciding to win. Sorry, Simon, if it comes up later. We need a story. That's my take as a communications expert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
What's the Republican story?
The Republican story right now is America First. And that's a fucking story.
Yeah.
It's very clear. America First, fuck criminals, fuck crime, we're strong, we're better. That's the story. Everyone knows it. Everyone at least knows what they're about. What's EA's tagline?
Ooh, very good.
If EA was a political party.
Apparently doing good better is out.
Yeah, so I'm here.
The title of
It doesn't pull so high.
Yeah, so I don't know what did pull high. I think it was just like do more good or
Do more, yeah, I think it was do more good.
Yeah. Do more good. Make
And this is back to maybe Matt's question, which is like, are you more motivated, for instance, by like the more good framing or like the kind of moral ambition framing, right? Like one is more like, go get them, and one is more like wholesome but more. I'm not sure
Yeah.
I articulated that well.
Yeah, one is more like you like are obligated to really hyper optimize and we can
Yeah.
like let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Versus more like, oh, it's like nice to do more good, and then that's what I do because it's nice.
Yeah, do we want to optimize or do we want to vibe? That might be, is that fair? Is that kind of what you're pointing to?
No.
You can vibe with like big good, and it just doesn't, it's not so constraining.
Big good is selling good to sell more good.
Yeah.
We're the big good lobby.
The big good. We are the big good lobby. That's the tagline.
Whereas optimizing is like, implies a lot of like vigor and narrowness. Whereas big good is like many good things, much in the ballpark, make it bigger, make it more visible, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I guess it depends what you think EA's role is. I think nowadays EA is more like a niche actor, and kind of trying to plug in holes. So in that way, maybe it is better off being hyper optimized, honestly. But if EA can succeed at being like a broader movement, then I think big good.
Well, you want, yeah, I mean, my case for big good is that you want the whole funnel to like be big and like sort of self-acknowledging or whatever. Because I think right now, and maybe this speaks a little bit to that blog post of yours about jobs are hard, is like having a high impact job is like your marker of identity as like an EA who's like arrived and made it and was like fully accepted or whatever. If that is the standard, right? It feels inherently narrowing because people will aspire to like land the job and statistically just like most of them won't, and so they will like bounce off and go and do something else. Whereas if you can make like higher parts of the funnel merely being a donor or whatever, a 10%er or whatever. Like, that's it. You're in, you're our friend. It really doesn't matter that much whether you have a job or not. But you see the lower part of the funnel and you think that's great. But the lower part of the funnel sees you and thinks you're great too. I don't know, is this a distinction? Is this real?
And I wonder if one of the things going on is that because of the centralization of funding, I think people give 10%, I'm just like, I think it's extremely admirable, and I feel very warmly about it. But it's not the case that I look around folks at EAG and I'm like, oh, you're funding my work, because they're not. Just on a totally financial basis, right? In a world where we were more sort of small donor funded, it might be it's only by the grace of these people's generosity that I am able to do the work that I think is valuable. So that's like an interesting, I feel like I maybe, probably this has been mentioned many, many, many times, but I feel like that twist on donor centralization has not been salient to me. It's just like, how does it, I guess it's been mentioned a billion times, but yeah, it creates a different relationship you have to the community at large. But I'll confess, right? This is all very warm and wholesome, so I feel like I should confess, like, my non-warm and wholesome part, which is like, I like not having EA as a whole be my users and not being accountable to them in my current job. I find that way less stressful.
Oh, can you say more? I want to know more.
When I was on community health, correctly, the EA community was my users, my stakeholders. Trust with them was extremely important. That mattered a lot. That all made sense, and it weighs on you. It means that, like, everything you do really feels like it. People's, like, feelings about you just, like, really affect whether you can do the work you want to do. And it is so much emotionally easier when EAs are, so far, except for Matt, people tend to like our videos, but like, now if people don't like our videos, that's, like, extremely important, like, data, it's input, but they're not my users, and so I'm not, like, accountable to them in quite that way. I'm accountable to the truth, and their opinions are, like, some pointer to truth because data is a pointer to truth, but I'm just not emotionally accountable to them. Like, I get to just be like, that's cool, in a much more almost for-profit way. Like, that's cool, I'm making a product, I'm gonna make the best product I possibly can. If you don't like it, that's also cool. Like, I'm gonna follow my vision and my taste and, like, do my best here.
Yeah. This is 100% my least favorite thing about, like, working at CEA. It is, like, such a weird customer, basically, because it's, like, not transactional at all. It's like, you depend on them, or, like, you want things from the customer, you want them to do EA, and they want things from you. They want you to support them in doing EA.
Totally. Help me help you.
Yeah.
Totally.
And it's just the whole thing becomes so, like, stressful, and you can write your OKRs, and you can meet your OKRs and whatever, and that's fine. You can collect data. But, like, the work feels so emotional all the time for me, and if I see someone that I've upset, I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Or if I see something happening internally, like, I can...
Like, you just owe things to people, or
you
owe things to people, and I
kind of think you do owe things to people,
and I, like, currently don't owe things to the EA community, totally. Except to, like, not to be cutesy, but, like, try hard and do my best, which I do believe I have an obligation to do. I think if people see me, like, not doing my job well, they should yell at me.
Yeah, I think this all speaks to, like, some sort of, like, optimization function for, like, constituency size, where, like, 5,000 or, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe 2,500 or something constituents is, like, the worst number of constituents to have. If you have, like, 5 million constituents...
You actually could have met them all, but, like, it takes forever. Yeah.
They feel some special, like, close connection to you because they look around and there's, like, not that many other people who are, like, here in the arena. Hello, 200 listeners. Yes, unfortunately, we're not bad perfect. Or you can have one constituent who you can actually, like, devote the time to and really reach consensus with or whatever.
Or, like, 5 or whatever.
Yeah. Or, like, some small single-digit number. But, like, yeah, once you get to, like, a few dozen or a few hundred or even a few thousand, maybe things start to get easier then, but, like, still kind of hard. It's not until you have, like, a huge constituency that the constituency knows it's vast and understands that they can't, like, place demands on you.
I do feel like the inbound feedback that 8,000 Hours gets, especially via its newsletter, is, like, very thoughtful. It's often like, I didn't like X, but maybe more people than me did, or, like, maybe I'm in the minority here. It's just, like, often acknowledges, like, maybe I wasn't the target audience for this, which I find very impressive and warm.
People think 80K is way bigger than it is. It is very big.
Sorry, people don't realize that the newsletter hits 500,000 people.
I obviously did not know that.
I also didn't know that until
500,000.
6 months ago. It's a lot of people with a
Good
lot of
job.
subscribers. I know.
Huge.
Props to the newsletter team.
Yeah.
So that is like that stat does surprise people. True. But the other thing, you tell them how many people work there now. 40.
Yeah, 38,
Are you
39.
serious?
Yeah, and that seems small.
That's more than I thought.
Yeah, and I mean back in my day, it was like 25. I was like, holy shit,
Oh my god.
this is in 2021. 2022. So I don't know. It's just interesting that like people have these different perceptions about like whether 80K's constituency is big or large. But I totally agree with you that like I think people on the newsletter maybe have a better intuitive sense that the newsletter is huge. They're like, I found you on Google. That's the only way I know you. I assume everyone's Googling you.
Right.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
I totally were like, the marketing team I think also has a good sense because like people find us through ads. And so right, exactly. Oh, that's a great
But
point.
it's about self-awareness on the part of the constituency about how big it is and how much they're therefore like.
But you're right that there's a typical mind thing too, which is like if I found you through an ad, then probably like lots of people are being hit by these ads. Whereas like if I found it because I was like in the right place at the right time in the right group house like 10 years ago, well, they're only I can literally name the other 5 people who live in that relevant group house or whatever.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah, and everyone has a different relationship with them. Everyone has their own sense of buy-in to EA in the community. Like, for some people, like if you have a constituency who's like, we really care about this thing, but it's not our whole identity, that's very different than like a religion, not to say EA is a religion, or like something where people are like, no, this is like...
Do you know that this is Matt's current special interest?
Are you serious? You want to make EA a religion?
I'm
That's why he's here in the Bay.
Okay.
I'm going to be the cardinal of the Bay Area EA.
You're evangelizing.
Yeah.
Explicitly. It's
And
nice to be explicit.
Cardinal in search of a
What?
pope.
I was just going to say your level of ambition that you don't even want to be the Pope. But obviously you want to be a cardinal. You know what we have to do?
Conclave.
Dress the part.
Yes. You have to have
Cardinal wants
outfits.
robes so
I
bad.
always want robes.
And a hat. Like a...
Daniel Farland, your new
Yeah.
roommate and previous guest on the pod, often wears a thobe
Yes. He is the pope of our group house.
to parties, and he's the pope of your group house.
And he's very disciplined. Oh wait, he wears it to parties?
He wears a thobe to parties.
What is a thobe?
What is it?
The thobe is, I think actually conventionally worn by Muslim men, but is like the kind of like sort of collar but not folded collar thing, and then it like goes all the way down to the ground.
Ah, I haven't seen
It's a
it.
dress, but it's for men.
But he wears the
Explain it better.
I think kippah is a Jewish thing, but it's like it's the little hat that the Pope wears.
Yeah.
When he comes into the
I
house,
wonder where the Catholics got that
he
idea.
puts it on. He's incredibly disciplined, but when he's in the house, he always has
Are
it
you
on.
serious?
Because he is the Pope of
Oh
evangelizing.
my god.
He
Does he have powers?
embraces his
When
role.
he speaks
Yeah.
ex Event Horizon, is he infallible?
Essentially, yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, something needs to get done in the house, and Daniel says it needs to get done. It happens.
That's
people,
kind of based.
People obey. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I think we could dress more. Something.
Anyway,
Totally.
Francis, I'm sorry I derailed you there.
Not at all.
You said, EA, as it grows, it's not necessarily a religion, but you can think of it maybe having that dynamic. Sorry, yeah, just helping get back to your point.
Yeah, no, my point was just that, like, I don't know, like, when something messes up, how much it affects you personally depends on a lot of things. But one of the things that it depends on is, like, how attached your own identity is to this thing. Like, how much does it reflect who you are? So, like, if Netflix messes up, maybe I'm mad that I paid for a Netflix subscription, but I don't think it says anything about me versus, like, if EA messes up, I'm like, well, I don't know, I kind of helped do this stuff. Like, what the freak, guys? What's wrong with me now? And I don't know, it all gets very tangled
What a
up.
perfect place to have this conversation. Here at Lighthaven.
Yeah!
There's a lot of feelings about contributions to the EA ecosystem.
Oh, totally. I mean, I actually think this is a really interesting point. And, okay, I have to go on record saying, like, a lot of people... I don't know if this is true, but some people think I'm, like, unsympathetic to rationalists.
This is what the whole pod should have been about.
Yeah,
Francis's feelings about rationalists.
Guys, like,
Here in the rationalist enclave
Yeah.
compound.
Yeah,
That-
surrounded, literally.
Yeah, no, I'm really in the thick of it. No, I have, like, a lot of thoughts. But, like, I have immense empathy. Or, like, I actually just totally understand.
Can you define empathy?
Like, and then...
sorry, I'm
Oh, it was
taking
a
it
joke.
back.
When, right, I was about to. It's like, sure. No, but I just, when someone's like, I'm so sad of the direction this movement went in, and I put so much of my heart and time and energy into this, like, oh, how would you not be sad? And like, I don't know, I'm sorry. And like, yeah, that you can read like a very, very, very long Google Doc criticizing something and have a lot of thoughts on that. But the drive to want to write something that long and that's like intense comes from, I think, a real place. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with the rationalists, even when I'm not cool with them.
Wow, what a ringing endorsement from the queen of EA Twitter. It's important. Building these alliances, having Big Tent. I feel, I don't know, my strategy to build a big religion is being super validated on this podcast. We should probably think about wrapping up.
Right.
Francis, did I ask what I wanted to ask? Oh, right, the internet.
Good rap topic.
I had some theory about you, which I assume is not true because you've already told us a bit of your origin story. That like,
Oh my god, we should, every podcast in the future, we should start with, what was our first impression of the guest?
Yeah.
Like, what did we think about them that might not be true?
oh no, great, yeah, absolutely.
That's really good.
But maybe it's your origin story for like being very online EA, unless you were like just always online or something. A thing that I experienced, like back in the 2010s, like first discovering EA, mostly on Facebook, through like Facebook comments, because that was what we did back then. Was like, wow, when these guys have a disagreement with someone, like inside or outside or whatever, they're like so consistently like nice and like charitable in like their comment and their articulation of like the opposing view, and like really just like clearly trying to seek truth in a way that other people aren't, and it's like just seems like very earnest and good. I don't know, I think like Lin Zhang like does this really well, for example, and has for a long time. Is that something that you encountered and why you're queen of EA Internet, or is like totally orthogonal?
I think I post a lot because I am a bit mentally ill, but like,
Who amongst us?
but yeah, who amongst us? But no, this totally drew me to EA. Like, I love this part of EA culture more than anything, and like, this is true of rational. Like, I just feel like people really say what they mean and they want to understand you. Not everyone, right? Everyone's an individual, but like, by and large, this has been my experience. And you can just actually have conversations online. A lot of online spaces are completely nuts, like, as we all know. Like, it's just like harrowing out there, and like, when I was younger, I was on the message boards and I was like role playing a lot. Like, my favorite like book series, I was on these niche sort of, anyway, everyone's weird out there.
Book series?
Do you know the Gone series?
No.
It's kind of like, it's a ripoff of Stephen King. It's like a dome appears and all the adults disappear and people start getting powers. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
Amazing.
But yeah, just like when you see a lot of online stuff, yeah, I think EA Online is pretty good in a lot of ways.
Nice. All right, we should get moving.
Yeah.
Huge thank you for Lighthaven for hosting our first in-person podcast in this
Woo!
very comfy and convenient room. If you want to book your podcast at Lighthaven in the East Bay area, it is a great place to go. Reach out to Mr. Havrika, who's very online everywhere. Many thanks to him. Many thanks to Francis for coming along.
Thanks.
Yeah, this has been us. You can email us at mattandhannah@gmail.com. I put this in the show notes, which Hannah clearly reads because she looks so not surprised at the moment. But yeah, if you have takes, questions, things you want us to answer on air, we'll do that because only one person has emailed us so far. Very astute. Person who reads the show notes. Hannah,
Matt.
are we going to the gym?
No.
Oh, because you're sick.
I'm sick.
As you can tell, listeners, Hannah's
You're
very
going
sick.
to the gym.
No, I can't go to the gym. I haven't signed up yet. I've only been here for 10 days, but I guess I could.
You could literally just go sign up.
Yeah, wow, you can just do things.
Agency.
Francis, you going to the gym?
There's also a gym on this campus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise
Building E.
me. Wow.
There's a Daniel Filan tweet over the rowing machine.
You could go sit there and do your own tweet. Oh no, there's a tweet about the rowing machine?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
What did my own tweet about?
You could
Rowing
sit
machine.
on the rowing
I
machine
need,
and tweet at them.
apparently people want takes about the rowing machine.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see you next week.
Yay.